everyone, welcome back to Blue Heart Craft Catch-Up episode number 100. Genuinely can't believe it is 100. So welcome back to this video on these craft catch-ups. I talk about the crafts I've been working up over the past week, normally crochet and knitting related. So yeah, I've got that ready for you today, and I've actually got FOs as well as whips. FOs don't happen a lot. It takes me forever to finish a project. And one nearly finished object. The main bit of it's finished. It's the easy bit that I've just got to wake up now. So yeah, anyway, let's get on. You're wondering why I'm looking down all the time. It's because I have notes on here. Otherwise, I would end up forgetting everything. I'm absolutely terrible. I'll forget needles, hook sizes, what yarns it was, who the pattern was by, what the pattern's called, etc. So I need to just put it all on there and make it easier. So my first finished object, I can't wait to wear it, but it does need blocking. Hopefully, see, every time I've gone to block it over the past week, each day it's said we're going to have rain. The only day when we weren't supposed to have rain is today. Some days we have had rain, other days not, thankfully. But yeah, anyway, I've not wanted a chance of putting it out and potentially getting it wet with the rain. So yeah, I've been leaving it and waiting because the band at the bottom of it keeps floating on. But anyway, yeah, and today was busy so I couldn't, but I have finished my jumper, well, not jumper, my top. So this was the Softness Pullover by is it Tangletown? Yeah, Tangletown Knits. It's a free pattern and it's designed to basically use the scraps of sock yarn. Now this is part of my advent calendar from my yarny corner last year. It's all these gorgeous pastel colours, and yeah, but just the ribbon just keeps rolling up. I did go down a needle size for the ribbon, but I have used a different yarn for the ribbon. I did want it more solid and more neutral just to tie it all in. So I used Stylecraft Special 4-ply, which is 100% acrylic yarn. And yeah, decided to use that, but I'm absolutely loving it. I love how it came out. It is at the moment just slightly cropped on me. However, I'm thinking when I block it out, it'll stretch a bit, and that's why I decided to just leave it there, because I didn't want it to be too long, because it is like a summer, well, not summer, a springy top. I wouldn't really wear it that in the summer, because although it is a thin yarn, it is, you know, natural fibres part of it. And so yeah, but look at all those colours, aren't they beautiful? So yeah, I've still got quite a lot of days left over from my advent calendar, and I think I'm just going to keep them in stash and just use them whenever I need a mini. I know there's some that I have put aside because I've got a sock yarn that I wanted to get a colour for heels, toes and cuffs. I wanted to do an contrast heel, toes and cuffs with this yarn, and the two I've picked out match perfectly with the yarn, so it's going to go for that. But yeah, the others I don't have a plan for at the moment. Technically, I am gonna be doing a blanket with my advent calendar this year, and the blanket I wanted to make it 5 by 5 rather than, you know, working it out like 4 by 5, for example. No, not 4 by. Either way, I was going to make it a bit easier to do, like, you know, the blocks rows and size by making it 5 by 5 basically. So I'm going to borrow one of the minis to use for that. But yeah, I'll talk more about that when it's a bit hard to explain without going in depth, and I've not got the pattern to show you. But yeah, I'm loving it. And I've not woven in the ends, you know, on the bottom here. When I've changed to the grey, I did weave in the ends there, as you can see, but I've not woven in the ends because I'll do that after I've blocked it. I know if I do it beforehand, most likely when I block it, it will come undone a bit. So yeah, that is a free pattern I was using a 3.5mm needles on it, and went down to the just 3mm for the ribbon on the ends. But yeah, they're all done. And yeah, just need to block it. As I said, I could have done it today, but I was out all day. My nieces had, well, one of my nieces had their summer fair today, so we went over there and had a little bit of a lovely day with them. My second finished object, and my only other finished object, are my Walk with Ukraine socks. So Alex of my unicorn, who did the Here in a Danny, did the advent calendar for that that I've used on that top. Jeanette of Crafty Legs and Karen at Stitches and Jacks all came together to create this Walking with Ukraine sock along during the month of May, while Ukraine was getting hosted here in the UK on behalf of Ukraine. Normally it's the winners of the Eurovision contest who host it next year. Ukraine won in 2022, however they wouldn't be able to hold it because of the war currently going on there, so second place, the UK, hosted it on their behalf. I'm actually from Liverpool, where it did get hosted, and so seeing the city thrive so much because of this event we were holding and getting to be a part of it, I really wanted to just do what I could. So I bought I was lucky enough to be able to buy one of the kits that they made. So the kits came with this yellow and light blue yarn that Alex and Danny dyed up. They came with a bag that Jeanette sewed, and Karen donated the fabric for. It's sunflowers, which is the national flower of Ukraine. And then they came with stitch markers, which I've got the stitch markers on all different projects at the moment. Which were little wooden ones that Jeanette's partner created, and it came with a little wooden tag to put with the photo. So that was so lovely, and I was so lucky to get one of the kits, and I was so glad I was able to take part. You didn't have to buy one of the kits to take part, just use either blue and yellow yarn or a pattern by a Ukrainian designer. I used this, and then I also just created a vanilla toe up sock. I did decide to contrast it a bit, so I used just a shop bought, not hand dyed, for the tealy blue, the peacock blue, and that was a Drops Fable yarn. I think I've got it. No, I've not actually made a note of the colourway. Yeah, so that was a Drops Fable yarn that I had in stash, and I just thought it was a nice little break up and trying something a bit different, because I thought it had a bit of interest considering it was a vanilla sock. So I did that, really enjoyed it, love the socks. I can't wait to wear them. It's a bit warm at the moment. It's not really sock weather, so I've not had a chance to wear them yet. That is all of my FOs, and yeah, so not loads done over the past couple of weeks, but yeah, life's just been hectic, crazy, a lot of things going on, so I've not had a lot of time to do a lot of crafting, but that's what I've worked on. The next, where's Abby? So coming up next, I'm gonna talk about my whips, what I have been up to, what things that I'm working on that are not quite finished yet, and I'm gonna start with my half finished object, my hoe, and that is Frankie. He's really cute. Either his legs or his head is on Wonky, but when he sits down, you're not gonna notice. Just position the legs wherever they look good when you're sitting down, and he does sit down really well. I just need to sew the bowl and create the bowl that goes in front of him. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna work on. I'm just gonna sort of do my own thing for the bowl, because I want to make it a good size, and this pattern was supposed to be done in a thicker weight yarn than what I used, so I've decided to fudge it, make my own, and then that way I can make it to the size I want, because I think if I do the one in the pattern, it's going to come out a bit smaller, and yeah, I want it to be a good sized bowl. This is going to be a gift for my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law discovered Halloween for first time last year. It's a whole thing, but anyway, he discovered it, fell in love with it, so I was like, I need to make him this. He loves giving out the sweets and, you know, giving them out to the kids and, yeah, seeing them dressed up. So I think he is gonna love having Frankie with him to give out sweets. So yeah, he's coming along good. I've got him his whole body finally done, stuffed, all sewn together. So with him, I've used a 3mm yarn, 3mm hook. It's supposed to be made with a worsted weight yarn, but I've used a DK, so the next weight down. I've used Stylecraft Special DK in grass green, black, graphite. The pink I want to say is fondant. The blue I want to say is baby blue, white. The orange is Jaffa, and the brown for the shoes is dark brown. So yeah, that's what he's done. He is supposed to have soles on the shoes, but I couldn't sew them on looking normal. They always looked weird the way I was sewing them on, so I was like, you know what, let's leave it. He's already got, like, he's already a bit wonky, like, you know, his feet are facing off to a different way to his head. He's looking off to the side, that's it, he's looking off to the side. So I was like, I don't need to add anything else that's going to look a bit more wonky. So I've decided, yeah, let's leave him as he is without the sole. So hopefully I can get the bucket done over the next week. I'm going to be using black yarn for the majority of it, so it's going to be a bit of a nightmare trying to work it up. And I think that's what's going to slow me down, is because I won't be able to work on it at night. But let's see. We can hope I get it done. We can. My next work in progress, this really hasn't had a lot of love on it. I don't even actually know where you were last time, but the reason is because I've noticed an issue with the heel. I didn't catch a stitch, and so thankfully I've managed to put a stitch marker in it, so it's not actually gone all the way down and I've not lost it that way. But it basically means that I need to sort it out, so I'm probably gonna end up just taking the heel out and doing an afterthought heel, I think, doing a contrast one. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do. But it is the Anthony socks. I do like how the cabling is coming up, and it is a bit more interesting now as I do it all the way around, now that we've got to the leg. So that has made it a bit more interesting. Does mean though that now I do have to count what rows I am on. I think I've actually got, yeah, got a piece of paper where I'm counting all my rows on, and I've actually got pen and pencil in here. So yeah, yeah, I've got to actually sit down and concentrate and count the rows, because with cabling I find it hard to actually go back and count rows with cabling on. So like this, I find it easy. I can count how many, you know, rows there are there easy. It will take a long time because there's a lot of rows, but when it's like regular stockinette, I can do garter, but the cabling not so much. So that's why I do really need to keep track of the stitch count, not stitch count, the row count, because I am liable to then start getting confused and making mistakes and things like that. So it's something that it's not that portable. I can't take it out anywhere really with me. I might be able to actually take it to the knitting that I go to and do a bit there. Yeah, I'll probably actually be able to do some there. That's not, yeah, because I can have my pencil and my little piece of paper out of the side and count there. That's not too bad. But yeah, when I was doing the foot, it wasn't too bad because I can count the back, because the back's stockinette. But now we've gone to the cables going all the way around. There's not really anywhere where I can count that easy. So yeah, it's going to take a while. I am using Drops Fable in the colourway red, and the socks are the Anthony socks, which is part of one of the Bridgerton collections by Twin Set and Pearl. Like all patterns, I'll link it down in the description box below. Like Frankie, it is a paid for pattern, this one, but it is a really good pattern and I do recommend it. It has charts, and I want to say it has written instructions, but I'm not 100% sure whether it does or not. But it's a good pattern, would recommend it. I have got the book that it comes in, the ebook, and I do want to work through all them books, all them patterns at some point. I think I'm going to probably want to do something a bit more basic for the next sock though, where it's not as intensive thinking about it. So yeah, that's probably going to be the next project, sock wise. The final project I've been working on, I've actually managed to get a bit of work done on this despite it being warm. This is a bit of a nightmare to work on in this weather at the moment, but I've already put it in hibernation once and then picked it up again, so I don't want to have to put it in hibernation for a third time because of the weather. So yeah, this is the Atlanticus Cal by Hooked on Sunshine. It is a free pattern. I really recommend this pattern. It is a really good pattern, very detailed. The one thing I'd say is that the pictures of the rows are not actually, they could have zoomed in a bit more or cropped a bit more. That would be my only critique, but as a free pattern, I'm not going to knock it if the pictures are not that perfect, because it can sometimes get a bit confusing what you're looking at. It's whether, you know, making sure that yours is coming out looking the same as theirs. But yeah, it's a free pattern and it's a blanket pattern, so obviously a lot of pages, a lot of rows. I think we're coming up to row 100 soon, but it's not a massive pattern in the sense that it was done as a crochet along, so there's actually different parts to it. So it means that I can have just the one part that I need on the phone. So whatever part I'm currently on, I can have that on my phone, and I only need to, you know, go through about 6 or 7 pages to find the row I'm on. It's not, you're not going through, you know, tens of hundreds of pages trying to find where you are specifically. If like you're in the middle or getting close to the end, it can be a bit of a nightmare. So that's what I do like, is that it's broken up in parts and it is in PDF form. So this is what I've got. We're on to more basic rows here. As you can see, these rows are a little bit easier. Actually, there you go. So that's what they're looking like at the moment. So yeah, it's been quite a few rows of like small stitches, like single crochets all the way around, and obviously there's a lot of stitches on it now, so it does take a bit of time to get through. It's just probably around my wingspan when you stretch it out, about my wingspan, and I'm 5'1", so it's not a bad size. I'm using Lion Brand Mandela cakes. This is the cake I'm currently using on. Not colour controlling, as I've said before. Wherever the cake falls, it falls, and I like that I've done that, and that, you know, when I'm starting a new cake, so I've just started a new cake there, I should have, let's see, I don't know, I should have started the cake with like a dark blue. Sorry about that. I should have started the cake with a dark blue. However, I've just gone into it and went, it's the medium blue. That's that, and it's actually going the wrong opposite way round to what the previous cake was. The previous cake was would have then had from going to the dark blue to that, to the thing, whereas this is obviously going from the reverse. So by not doing that, like not focusing on doing things like that, it means that when there is that odd bit of change where there is a bit more of one colour than the other, it's, my eyes aren't drawn to it because there's not that consistency and that rhythmic pattern. My eyes aren't drawn to anything that is slightly different. So that's what I like, because I am a bit of a perfectionist, and had it have been all like, you know, perfectly sequenced, then if there was something that was slightly off, like a colour changes halfway through the round, I'd have noticed it. It just stuck out like a sore thumb to me, and that would have drove me crazy. So I like this way of doing it, and it's been nice because I don't have to worry most of the time about weaving in a lot of ends. And I've got this big beautiful blanket, and I'm using a 4mm hook on this. And yeah, I'm glad that I chose the hook size and the yarn weight that I have. I didn't actually look at the pattern when I was picking the yarn weight, when I was picking like the yarn or hook. I just decided I wanted to use this, as this reminds me of like quite oceany colours, and the Atlanticus is supposed to be based on the Atlantic Ocean, and then this is supposed to use around a 4mm hook, and that's why I chose it like that. Other than that, I was not very specific on it. So yeah, that's all I've really been working on. As I said, the odd bits of things here and there, and hopefully I'll be able to get a bit more progress on things done over the next week. It is going to be a bit of a hectic week for me, in the sense I've got, you know, a bit of a more busier work schedule, and also some medical appointments, but I'll do what I can. Sometimes I may put the craft catch-ups every 2 weeks rather than every 1 week, just to see what I get done in that time frame. So I'm going to trial that for a little bit. I'm still going to be doing the Monday videos and an occasional Wednesday video as well. So this week there was that Wednesday video as well, but yeah, I'll definitely be doing the Mondays, and I'm going to put the craft catch-ups to every 2 weeks for the time being, just while things are a bit crazy. We are also going to be coming up into the summer holidays at the moment, and okay, no, I don't have kids, but I will be going up to my sister's quite often, visiting with my nieces and getting to enjoy that time with them. For those of you who don't know, my youngest niece lived most of the first 2 years out of her life in a different country, and so having the girls and having my sister around so close, I'm really now learning to take the most of that opportunity and savor the moments, because I know what it's like to have to go long periods without seeing them, and where your only communication is through a phone. And so yeah, just treasuring that time. But before I go, I have two little things to show you that I have received as, I'm going to say Happy Meal, because I won a giveaway, and the voucher that I got in the giveaway bought these two with. So these are two crochet books that I've had my eyes on for a while now, and I've been like, I really want to get this. And so yeah, when I got the gift voucher, decided to get them. So the gift voucher was off Judy at Which Piece Craft. If you don't know Judy, go and check her out. I will link her down in the description box below. Judy is just one of the most loveliest people out there. She's such a selfless crafter. A lot of what Judy makes, she crafts a lot of things that she sells. She used to sell them at a market stall, and it raises money for a young lady who has disabilities, and getting her medical equipment, like getting her a pool so she can do her therapy that will ease a lot of her pain and improve her quality of life greatly. And you know, for someone to just go out and do so much crafting to raise money for a cause like that, it just shows you what a person Judy is. So go and check Judy's channel out. Judy was hosting a cow for the first 6 months of this year, and was drawing winners every month, and I got pulled for June, and I was so shocked. So I got a Amazon gift voucher, and I decided to buy these books with it. The first one is Crochet You, and so this is basically, you can effectively design any doll with this book, and it's supposed to be aimed, you know, that there are people with, like, you know, disabilities who may, you know, have something where they do, you know, have a bit different. So they may be in a wheelchair, they may, you know, need a guide dog, may need medical equipment, and so this allows people to create a doll that looks exactly like them, regardless of anything that they may have going on. And I absolutely love that idea. I am disabled myself. I do have some physical disabilities that are currently getting investigated, and then I also have a non-specific learning disability, so autism, mine is, And so to be able to see something like this is absolutely amazing. You know, I do know people who need to use mobility aids. I know someone who is on oxygen all the time, and so I could do them a doll that was them, and that just blows me away. So picked that up, and then I picked this up. Now this is so cool. So if you have a look, it's called Not Monsters Flower Pens Edition. Now if you have a little look, there's plant pots with all different flowers in, but then if you have a little look at the rose, you'll notice that all the flowers are pens. How cool is that? So I'm going to end up with loads of pens at this rate, all different types. I was showing my sister today, and she's already put in a order for a rose, a sunflower and a daffodil for her and some of her colleagues. So yeah, I'm so excited to get working on this. So I'm going to have to get working on the flower pens very soon. As I said, I've had an order for 3 already. And this pattern and this designer, I've actually already made something by him. I made a crochet uterus. I did it a couple of years ago now. Basically, my mum has always said that homemade gifts are the best gifts ever, and you know, she just treasures gifts that we have made for her, and I really wanted to put that theory to the test of, does she love anything we made her? So I made her a crochet uterus as a apology for ruining hers 27 years ago, and she loved it. She found it hysterical. She has it in her room, up on her desk in her bedroom. My niece, my eldest niece, absolutely adores it. She thinks it's a crown. So, yeah, well, anyway. So yeah, very excited to get working on them. So that is all I've got today. Considering I've not got a lot, I've rambled on for quite a bit. So I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe, taking care, and I will speak to you all on Monday. Bye.